man, Bill. As I said earlier, I do like the way he's so open about with his passion for his club, and he knows full well that Everton are probably going to need someone else to come in with plenty of money to take it forward onto the next step. But what a wonderful day this could be for him today. But they're going to have to do it the hard way, Everton. They've played a lot of good sides in this competition. So far, they've managed to put everything else behind them and beat them. This is going to be the biggest test of all, because this is scorching hot day. They're up against a very powerful team, a team that have better players. How many of the Everton players, Joe, do we expect could get into that Chelsea side? Probably very few. Yeah,
you're right, man for man, but I use the word team again. They are a great team together. Chelsea have a team full of top 4 European players. Everton, I use it as praise, are working class heroes to an extent. Players that David Moyes has taken from the lower divisions. Cahill's come on. Keep using him. He's a great example for them. And Jagielka, Lescott's been terrific. Howard had a bad spell at United. He reinvigorated him, brought him back to his best. And they are a team in every sense of the word. Delighted there for Bill. What you see there, it's not false. That's not an act. He can be a thespian at times, but the fans affectionately call him Blue Bill. Yeah. And that's a great accolade for a chairman.
And if you're looking for other winners for emotional reasons, well, Phil Neville would be high up there. John Terry, Frank Lampard as well, Teddy.
Maybe John Terry or Frank Lampard, but I can't see Phil Neville scoring. he's not scored too many goals. I'd love to see it, without a doubt. Tremendous professional. But more likely, Lampard will pop up. They'll definitely have a couple of chances today. As Andy said, little knockdowns from Drogba. He'll be onto anything a little bit loose there. John Terry from set pieces. I think could even be a couple of set pieces that decide the game.
First goal as well today. You get the impression on such a hot day, such a big occasion, with so little to choose between the two teams this year. I think last year they drew twice as well. There's always been tight games. Just get the feeling as well on a day like today, Steve, if you can get yourselves in front, Ted.
You don't want to be chasing this game today. You don't want to be a goal behind, even 2 goals behind in the first half, and have to chase your way back to it. It's a hot day, and you don't want to be doing that.
Well, let's hope for a game to match the weather, to match the scenes, and match all that obvious excitement that is building around the ground here this afternoon. Abide With Me is just a moment or so away. Andy, Teddy and Joe will give further opinions on what we've seen at half-time. But let's now go to match commentator Clive Tilsley.
Blue sky, blue colours everywhere, and the blue ribbon event of the English football calendar. Back where it always used to be, at the climax of the season. The first football match many of us ever saw live on television is the last match of this club campaign. The Cup final. Same old issues. Chelsea average attendance this season 41,500. Everton average attendance this season 35,500. Wembley capacity 90,000. Only 25,000 tickets allocated to each of the competing clubs. Since 1927, the communal singing of the hymn Abide With Me has been an essential part of Cup Final Day. Today the singing will be led by the London Community Gospel Choir. We've adopted it as the signature tune to our coverage. It's part of the tradition of this most traditional of events. atmospheric piped music and pyrotechnics of the 21st Century Cup final, but some things will never change. The playing surface has changed quite regularly since the stadium opened 2 years ago. This is the 6th different pitch that has been laid in that time, a whole new approach and a new groundsman since the criticism heaped on the turf following the semi-finals 6 weeks ago, but no complaints during last weekend's playoff finals. 2 captains today, 110 England caps between them. Phil Neville's actually got more than John Terry, but Terry will lead England out here again in 10 days' time. Both FA Cup winners at the old Wembley Stadium. Everton wearing their traditional blue kit today. They won the cup in blue in '66 and '84 and '95, and they won the toss for choice of colours today, so Chelsea will play in all yellow. Joseph Yobo in the background there, one of 2 Wembley debutants today. Yobo and Jose Bosingwa of Chelsea did not play in the semi-finals. 2 managers at the head of the line, neither particularly distinguished playing careers. Gus Hiddink, a midfield player who couldn't hold down a regular pace at PSV Eindhoven. David Moyes, a centre-back who couldn't hold down a regular place at Celtic. Lead their teams out. The moment these players have been waiting for now for 6 weeks. Both teams have had other priorities since the semi-finals, but walking out at Wembley for an FA Cup final can never have been too far from their minds. Some pre-match ceremonials are commonplace in the game today, but the cup final is still a little different. A big occasion with a big weight to release all that tension and pent-up energy. The first kick of the ball is still probably 5 minutes away. There's some handshaking and some anthem singing to do first, and the chief guest of the FA today is the former UN General Secretary Kofi Annan. It is a very cosmopolitan final. Players from Europe, North America, South America, Australasia, and 5 African-born players in the final. Kofi Annan is a Ghanaian. There was a Ghanaian, Suli Muntari, in the winning team a year ago. And in a moment, he'll shake the hands of his fellow countryman, Michael Essien. One or 2 of these Everton players may be unfamiliar to you. Phil Neville there is their skipper. Howard Webb, England's leading referee, is in charge today, and it could be an interesting one for him. There have been 12 red cards in the last 12 years of this fixture. John Terry was sent off at Goodison Park when the 2 met in December. Chance for Ashley Cole to make FA Cup final history today and become the first man in the modern era to win 5 FA Cup winners' medals. There's the special handshake for his fellow Ghanaian Michael Essien, who played as a centre-back for Chelsea against Manchester United 2 years ago. And Kofi Annan will present the trophy in, well, how long from now? Because if these 2 are still locked after 90 minutes, we will get a decision one way or another today. The national anthem will be sang by Farrell Smith, the 13-year-old who was a finalist in Britain's Got Talent a year ago. The formalities are complete. The atmosphere has been stirred. Nearly time for the headlines to be written. The 2009 FA Cup final is next.